Very good evening, and welcome to the Wines of Jumilla. And this is a really exciting region that I have to say I didn't know too much about, but then he got to go on an aeroplane.
Exactly, that's what we do. So tonight is slightly different. This tasting has been supported greatly by Jumilla DOP. Really, really excited. And for once, you're not going to hear too much from us because we have 6 brilliant wines tonight. We have got 5 winery representatives joining us to answer all the questions, everything that you would like to know. So we're going to do a quick bit of housekeeping, and then we are going to head on to the wines of Jumilla tasting. So for anyone joining us for the first time, it's absolutely brilliant to see you. Alex is taking photos of himself in the.
I'm checking the Slido code works.
So
it does.
Please feel free, dive in, ask all the questions you want to. Alex is going to moderate the chat a little bit tonight. We've got some people from Jumilla. Esther is in the chat, I believe, so she can say hi to everyone. And then we'll bring our winemakers in bit by bit. So if you're new to us, great to see you. You've got Slido on the screen that you can go and add your tasting notes. There's going to be an end of show quiz, all kind of fun stuff with that. And if you
pay attention, because they might think things that we will learn will pop up in the quiz.
Exactly. But this is probably enough from me. We've got some wonderful, wonderful people waiting in the wings. So while I was there, obviously, I got to play with the drone and play with the camera. So I've created my own video. So wines of Jumilla. Here we go. So there we go, playing with drones. But before I go into the deep and meaningful of it, I'm going to introduce Carolina, who I had the pleasure of hanging out with, having dinner, who looks after all things at Jumilla DOP. So I'm just going to hand over to her to join us and give us a little bit of an introduction to Jumilla.
Hi everyone.
Lovely to see you.
Hi everyone. Good evening, Jamie. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for hosting this amazing tasting with you, with your club. We're very happy in Jumilla PDO to be part of this seminar, of this tasting. I just want to give you a brief glance of what is Jumilla, just quite quick info, so that we kind of know where we are, and then I will hand it to you, Jamie, and the winery guys and women that are here. First of all, well, cheers. I also already have my glass of wine to spend the evening with you guys. So Jumilla is located in southeast Spain, in the very corner of southeast Spain, a little bit inland. So it straddles 2 regions, the Murcia region and Castilla-La Mancha region. It's only 1 hour away from Alicante Airport, where Jamie landed 6 weeks ago when you came to pay us a visit. So it's just 1 hour away from the coast. So if any one of you is planning a beach trip, you can easily combine it with a quick a visit to Jumilla and have a wonderful wine tourism experience. Jumilla is one of the oldest DOs in Spain. It was founded in the 60s, but it has millennia old history. People have been growing vines and making wine in Jumilla for centuries. So they know what they do in this part of the world. Quick data. The surface of vineyard in Jumilla is around over 20,000 hectares. That is roughly 1/3 of Rioja's surface, so that you kind of know where we sit at. But this is an incredibly diverse territory, as Jamie could witness when he visited the region. We have this is a rugged landscape with rolling hills, wide valleys, wide plains, a high altitude plateau. So it's a very, very diverse territory. In terms of markets and sales, last year in 2025, our winery sold over 17 million bottles. With our main market being Spain, with around, say, 35% of sales stay here in Spain, and 65% go abroad to over 90 countries in the world. So our wineries like traveling as well. Our main markets are the US, Canada, the UK is our third market, Japan, and Germany. So high value and nice wine consuming markets for us. And lastly, but not least important, just a quick note on our very, very unique terroir, which is really the reason, together with, of course, with the hand of man, why our wines are so brilliant. First, climate. This is a very, very arid region. It's funny because in your video, Jamie, you can see that it was raining, but that's only when you Brits come to.
Only when Jamie British comes over, yes.
But everyone I spoke to was very happy I bought the rain.
No, really, it rains really, really little in this area. This is in some people say it's sort of desert-like landscape, but yeah, it has been a rainy winter. Thank God, because we need this rain, this little rain that falls. So it's a very arid climate, despite of this rainy visit from Jamie. Our climate is Mediterranean, but with a very important continental component, meaning that it can get very cold during the night, whereas during the day it can be very hot, and we can have very cold winters and very hot, scorching hot summers.
Yeah.
So it's this Mediterranean general climate, but with this continental component, which is key also to the balance and the freshness that our wines boast. This is also a quite high altitude region. We can go from around 400 meters, but well above 1,000 meters for vineyards. So this is also key for a smooth and swift ripeness, and also for that balance that I mentioned before. This balance between acidity. The acidity here is way better ensured that the acidity in coastal regions in the Mediterranean, right? Thanks to this high altitude.
I think it's quite fun. I got engaged around Almeria, and we've spent a lot of time in Malaga off to the west as
Yeah.
well. And as you start to move inland, you going up to Granada, you realise just the gain in altitude and suddenly the change in temperature. And you know, we were going from drinking super sweet muscat by the coast, you know, to these really incredible rich red wines a little bit inland. It's just such a fabulous place. And also, I love the fact that place, as you just go inland in towards the desert regions, it looks a bit like Arizona.
Absolutely.
You know, it's where all these spaghetti westerns were filmed. It's such a crazy part of the world. You can't quite believe your eyes and what you're being told by your senses. It's very cool indeed. Should we get wine one in the glass and actually have a bit of a taste?
Probably should. It seems from the tasting.
Some people are already there.
Seems from the tasting.
So,
people have already
I don't want to
begun when I
feel
said,
just to be the only one drinking by now. So yes.
Don't worry, you're not. You're far from that.
So yeah.
That's
well, you know that in
absolutely.
Granada you can ski. So our mountains are actually
exactly
part of the Granada mountain range. It's like the continuation of this Granada mountain range. So yeah, this is key. This inland, and also in terms of character, we're not so Phoenicians like in the coast. We have this marked continental character also, which combined with the Mediterranean funny and happy and party mood is it's really fun. It's really unique.
amazing.
No, it's
Amazing.
absolutely brilliant, and I think, you know, we probably need to get moving on and get into tasting some
Go
of the wines.
ahead.
But
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that I found is I came thinking there would be big rich Monastrell, and there was big rich Monastrell, but there were so many other things, from brilliant light aromatic whites to sweet wines, and then a vast array of different wines in there as it is. So Carolina, all I can say, and to everybody on here, thank you for the hospitality. It was brilliant. It was enlightening. The region was brilliant. But before I fanboy too much about it, we'll move on. We'll get the wines tasted, and we'll see what the Online Wine Tasting Club thinks. But cheers to that.
I hope you enjoy.
and
Everyone enjoys the wines.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
They will.
So
for sure.
heading on into wine number one, which people have desperately got into because that's how the world works with the Online Wine Tasting Club. No patience. We are heading to Juanil, and we've done one of their wines before. We did their blue label Monastrell blend on our Old Vines tasting, and
yes, that's the one.
This wine just brightened my life. I just was like so unexpected for what it is.
Isn't it delicious?
But we have
absolutely
Maria
delicious?
with us today, who unfortunately when I travelled, she was coming the other way, so she bought the Jumilla Sunshine to London for a wine tasting while I took the London rain over there. But Maria, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, and just tell us all a little bit about the winery, the history, and why Muscat does so well in the region.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Thanks, Jamie, for hosting and for visiting us a couple of weeks ago. I'm sorry for not being there, as you said, but it was good to have some sunshine in London. I think it was the first or second time I had that. So it was great to cross with you. And my name is Maria. I work with Hill Family Estates. I've been working with them for a long time. Hill Family has two wineries in Jumilla. It's a family-owned group that was established first in 1916, so over 100 years ago. And the fourth generation of the company was interested in investing in buying old vines all over Spain, but mainly working with native varieties. In this case, as Carolina has explained and has given you the background, as you can imagine, it's not the most popular climate and environment to grow white grapes, because we lack the cold temperatures that we need to do this. So the Muscat and in general producing white wine at the winery, it was really a challenge. And Yeah, the winemaker.
So how do you keep that acidity? Because it's got such freshness. It has beautiful ripe fruit, but it's so fresh.
Can I?
Can I?
High altitude
Yeah,
diurnal
okay.
shift.
Yeah, so the plants.
There you go. You got your.
Yeah, don't worry, it's fine. So the plants are located in the Aragona Valley, that is located in the Término de Arriba, so it's the upper area of Jumilla. And the plants are located around 750 to 800 meters above sea level. It's one of the few crops that we have in trellis system because we have to irrigate the grapes for the Muscat. And what we do is we have like an early harvest and we chill the grapes overnight in a giant fridge. So after hand harvesting the grapes in August, they stay for around 24 hours in a giant fridge. And then the following morning, we have a cold fermentation. The grapes are also hand sorted, sorry. So yeah, and then during the production of the wine, we have a 10% that is aged in concrete eggs. 20% of the wine is fermented and aged in new big oak barrels, and 70% is in inox. So it all adds this complexity and this mouth texture, and at the same time, it helps to preserve all the natural aromas from the grape. And it's a kind of a distinctive feature because when you smell the wine, you really hope or expect to have a sweeter note in the palate. But that's not the Muscat from Alexandria. It's a small grain Muscat variety, and it's completely dry. So the residual sugar in this wine is never more than 2 grams per liter.
So if you wanted a wine that demonstrated the difference between fruitiness and sweetness, this is it. This is the textbook example, because all of the tasting notes, apricot, peach, lychee, pear, stone fruits, you would associate that with real amounts of sugar, but it's not there. It's super bone
actually
dry
a bit savory in the palate.
fresh.
So it's kind of mineral and has this bitterness, this tanginess. It has also this orange blossom that is quite distinctive on the nose, and this jasmine. And well, I think it's quite exotic wine to be from such a desert-like place.
And
that is fantastic.
I think, you know, and going and visiting it was really great. I got taken around. I saw these vines in situ, and it was, you know, it was a little bit different because, you know, the Monastrell is, you know, old vine harvested like 2 meters apart. But what I'd love to just for a couple of, outside of this wine, I thought the new off-grid winery for the Blue Label is brilliant. Solar panel, dugout, temperature controlled. And then also the distilled Monastrell, the brandy style.
Yeah.
And just what is it? You know, the innovations, and you know, there's going off grid is brilliant as far as being eco-friendly and all those kind of things. But what makes a winery make that decision? Because it's a lot of infrastructure, a lot of investment. And do you see that as, you know, it's sustainability and we should be doing, or is it better, you're creating better wines, better styles by taking those things on board?
I think it really, like, the approach really depends on the area where you are. I think Jumilla puts things really easy concerning sustainability and growing organic, because actually the land is what it is, and Monastrell adapts very well to have nothing as a support. So in this case, and in many of other of the wineries that we have, it's an easy decision, as the owners of the company have always wanted to have like a long-term business, and as well as they inherited the business from their great grandfathers, they want to establish a legacy for the future generations. So the only way of doing that is like taking care of the land.
I love that. I love that, because sustainability, people always associate it with just the environment. But if it's something is going to be sustainable, it is sustainable for 3 things. It's got to be sustainable for the land and the environment. It has to be sustainable for the people who work on making it. So they've got to be able to have a good jobs and everything, and be that not just burning through lots of temporary workers like some farms do. And it's got to be economically sustainable, because if it's not economically sustainable, it stops and the farms go away and the wonderful products go away. I think that is an absolutely beautiful wine. I really love it.
Brilliant wine. I think it's a wonderful kickoff. And I'll tell you, of all the things, so you can when you go places, you can read tech sheets and learn about the wines. But I never thought I'd be talking about red American worms in compost piles. We had a good 15-minute conversation about that. I went up and said that. But yeah, Maria, before I let you go, just one quick, and it could be 1,000 things. What is it that makes Jumilla special? Why should people want to drink more Jumilla wine, and why should they get out and visit?
I think...
And I know you could say we could do another hour on that.
No, I'll try to be short, but I would say that Jumilla people have learned to produce a wonderful product with the very few resources that they have. And it really deserves to be shared and spread, because it's the future of the region as well. I mean, we only produce there, we have olive trees and almond trees and Monastrell, and we need to spread that and to let people know that it's the place to be.
And it is. I think that is a big thing for the region, that people don't realise it's an hour drive from Alicante Airport. Plenty of people are getting to Alicante, so go to the coast for a day, get inland and see it.
Definitely. We've got one final thing just to ask you. We have a food pairing recommendation from Finn here. He's suggesting that you have this wine with some prawn tempura with a chili dip. Does that sound good for you?
I actually usually suggest to pair this wine with Thai food. So it sounds really good.
Fantastic.
But
excellent.
Maria, thank you very much for your time.
It was an absolute
pleasure. Not only do we have this, we've got a couple of the wines from the winery. So we're going to let Maria go. Thank you so much. But before we go on to the next wine, I've got a video about California worms.
Oh gosh, have you? Maria, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Take care. Right. Okay, a video. I hope this video is working a bit better. Yes, I know. I'm just going to quickly get rid of this thing, just in the hope that maybe fewer things will make it work better.
So we will wait like 4 to 5 months, and once it's dry, we will use those sprinkles.
Yeah.
And those will provide water. The red American worms, they will eat all the organic matter and will convert it into compost, into fertilizer, that we will use in our old vines. So, and for us, and as you notice, there is no smell because it's made in a natural way. And then once we take it into the vineyard, we make like a very big hole. We dig a hole around the wine stock. Then we introduce the compost, and for the plant it's very easy to absorb because this is like a baby porridge for the plants. And then by doing this, we get like a circular closed system where all the waste it's taken back to the land.
Brilliant. So yeah, things you don't learn on tech sheets. You talk about the best worms and the story about how they had to build up concrete barriers and a fence because they had the worms in there, and a bunch of wild boar came down, ate all the worms, so they had to start again. So brilliant. We start with the white, and now we're going to head on to a red. So we're heading to Bodegas BSI, and we've got Mario, who hostess can come in and join us. What a brilliant winery, cooperative. I'd never ever had lunch in a wine barrel until I'd done that.
In a wine barrel.
Lunch in a wine barrel.
There you go.
But hi, Mario. Lovely to see you. How are you?
Hi, Jamie. It's a pleasure to see you again.
No, absolute pleasure. And yeah, thank you so much for your hospitality and the time taken round and in the vineyards. And so when I was there, I turned up, got the tour. We drove out to the vineyards. The techno manager and the winemaker was out with us. And so, some of the region's oldest vineyards, some brilliant stories. And on top of, old stories and tradition, some real cutting edge technique at BSI as well. So I'm just going to hand over to you to say hi, kind of talk through, what BSI is all about, and then a little bit about the wine that we've got in the glass. Alex is going to move the tasting notes on for everybody.
Yeah.
And please chuck your questions in, because I can answer things, but while we've got the people from the winery, they're much better equipped than I am. But over to you, Mario.
Okay. My name is Mario Zan, representative of Gemina and BSI Vineries. And on behalf of Gemina and BSI Vinery, I would like to say thank you to the Online Wine Tasting Club, extended to Jamie for your incredible opportunity to introduce our vineries with your visit, to the Jumilla PTO, and of course, thank you for everyone who is watching and eager to discover a new wine. Well, to begin with the presentation of the vinery, BSI Vinery was founded in 1932 through the effort for many of Jumilla wine growers, as we are the town cooperative vinery. We are very proud to have hundreds of members who, year after year, harvest after harvest, bring us the fruit of their hard work and passion. And after many years of success across all continents, we decided to create a range of gastronomic wines, top range in quality, accessible for all types of consumers. And this is how Gemina Vineries was born, representing our most elegant side. So today I'm presenting our Gemina with no added sulfites, 100% Monastrell wine with selected vineyards, organic, and crafted through a very ingenious process. So Gemina Vineries work with 3 very special plots located around 150 meters of altitude, with sandy soils and rocky surface, where the rust must ground strong to reach 4 or 5 meters deep, as well as volcanic soil too, since one of our plots lies on the inactive volcano in Jumilla. From these 3 vineyards, we produce 3 limited editions wines, when the vintage alone in terms of quality of quantity depends of the years. And not every year can we produce this all 3 to the volume, but since we know the quality is always extraordinary, every year we elaborate our Gemina no-added sulfites from these 3 vineyards. And when the grapes are ripe, we confirm their quality, of course, and check the alcohol levels. And since a high degree is needed to support the process with adding sulfite, so the grapes undergo to the usual steaming and crushing. But here is where the process differs. We use our own native yeast, which help the fermentation while preventing sulfite formation, and we apply a drastic cold stop to the fermentation to avoid the proliferation of natural sulfites. And this keeps sulfite levels below the established minimums, allowing our creating wine exceptional quality. Our Gemina added sulfites. This is all the explanation. I'm
just going to say,
sorry, I'm like sat there going, sorry.
So this was really cool. So I went through this 3 times to make sure I got it.
Yeah.
So they have a yeast in-house that they use that stops sulfite production. So it protects it from the sulfite. So there's no need for CO2 to blanket it. So it stops sulfite and oxidation. So they then do that and then cold crash it to stop anything. And that's how they do it without sulfites.
No, but it's not just to do it without sulfites. If I'm understanding this right, this doesn't say contains sulfites.
Yeah,
am I
exactly.
Right? I've never seen a wine in my life that doesn't say contains sulfites, because naturally a wine will make sulfites.
It stops the sulfites forming.
So you've stopped. So, but the level at which you have to declare this allergen is so low. This is a first of its kind for me. This is super cool. I like it. Really interesting.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, of course. And as you're saying, that the high alcohol helps preserve the wine from any bacteria or yeast that want to harm it and everything. It's super fresh. It's super super lively. Sorry, no.
It's got,
sorry. I want to talk to you later.
Yes. But no, it's really cool, you know, and it sits at 14.5% alcohol, but it doesn't
feel like that. No.
But this was, you know, a lovely. You know, the barrel in the winery was really cool. Never done that, but you know, just out in the vineyards and kind of walking through this. You know, you come out. You know, Jumilla is not a massive place, but you come out and you go into these vineyards, and it's not just here. It's like in a lot of the region. You're suddenly in the middle of nowhere, and there's nothing. And where I was, like the vines are obviously, you know, dormant. They've just been pruned. You look at these old vine Monastrell and go, how is anything ever going to grow out of that? And I think there's a point to be said about something to be said about Jumilla, that when people talk about what a wine should be worth and what a wine should cost, I'm like, you walk around that area and go, if you had to go out and hand pick all these things, how much would you want to get paid to do it? Yeah. And therefore the wine can't be €2.
I remember the Jamie words say, "Wow, this is you can breathe the pace of the space because the sound is nothing."
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. And what
is it all bush vines out there? Or?
So as far as most of the Monastrell is old vine, and they're planted, you know, a couple of meters apart. It's really,
so it's proper
because they need to look after. You know, there's other things up there. There's Syrah, the Muscat is trellised, but the vast majority of the is old vine Monastrell, 35 years plus for a lot of it. It's not what you, when you say vineyard, you have this thing, rolling hills of vines and a chateau, that it's just not that. But it creates such a brilliant style of wine. And I think what was also interesting, and correct me if I've got this right, as a cooperative, you let the growers grow what they want to grow, and then you bring it in and you make wine based on that, rather than dictating to the growers what they must make. So the families grow the grapes that they can grow, they want to grow, they choose to grow, and then they get assigned to a particular product, rather than saying, you must make this at this bricks and that kind of stuff. So it really is, it's a proper co-op rather than a factory just taking grapes from people, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So I think, you know, the same question as I asked Maria, what makes Jumilla special and different to anywhere else on the planet?
Well, as general, Jumilla is located in a very special place, as the climate, the Mediterranean air, this component of continental. This is very rich wines and very balanced with the acidity. And this is the most special wines in the whole area. And concrete in this wine is this component of very fruity, very sweety in the beginning, very long, and always thinking in a component on sustainable part of no sulfurics or bio, for example.
I think I love it as a product. I love it how it tastes. I love to think of the foods it will go with. And we had I don't know if you saw, we have a recommendation of maybe some, not very Spanish, but some boeuf bourguignon. I think would be really quite a fun pairing. But there must be something that you would love to eat with this one.
Oh, I want to sit down in this table and take this dish. It sounds very nice.
Brilliant.
So yeah, brilliant wines, and so this is
conceptually so solid.
This is the Jumilla, which is the name is what Jumilla used to be called by the Romans, and that's why that name is there.
Exactly.
But then this comes from the same vineyards as their single plot, so the Finca La Cabra, which they make a few thousand bottles of. So it's all it's not the leftover wine. It's even though it's not in the top tier makes that much of it. The story, the care, and talking with the winemaker over lunch, just the absolute care and precision and the why it happens is absolutely brilliant for a winery that makes a decent amount of wine. It's not a small amount of wine made, across the board, but the care and the brilliance is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, no, amazing.
Thank you so much for your words.
Thank you so much.
So, Mario, any final thoughts before we let you go? But no, thank you so much for joining us, and always thank you for the hospitality in the region.
Wherever you want.
That's brilliant. We'll have to do a
Thank
trip.
you so much.
We'll bring the whole club over. Have a great night. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Have a night.
Gracias.
Well, Spanish is very good. So yeah, clove, blackcurrant, raisin, Ribena, plum, cherry, and I think this is,
but there's a freshness to it.
Freshness. I think a lot of the Monastrell we get in the UK and we find in the UK, we think it's that big jammy over the top. And there is absolutely that style, but Monastrell is not just one thing, is what I found. So and
I like this for it to go with a sort of a tuna. I had some wonderful tuna in Spain. That would go beautifully with that. It's almost Pinot like in terms of its low tannins. This one,
it's Pinot like almost. We've got a Garnacha later, but that kind of like Grenache light. You could have some of the Monastrells I had there. You could almost have slightly chilled, and would do a really good job. Should we move on to wine 3?
We shall do that. Let's move on to wine 3.
So before we bring Fernando in, I need to. I can apologise without him on the screen. So I made the plan to go out to Jumilla and make the very most of the 2.5 days I could. So I left home at 4 o'clock in the morning to get my EasyJet flight to meet with Fernando. I think we were planned to meet at 11:30 a.m. or something like that at Viña Elena. And I sat on EasyJet, let me sit on the runway for about 5 hours.
It was a good number of hours.
I was having a panic attack because I don't like being late. I don't like letting people down. I'm messaging Esther, who did a lot to help set up the trip. I'm still stuck on the runway. She's like, relax, it's okay. You'll get there when you get there. And I land in Alicante. I'm going to get the car. I'm texting, and it's just like, and my first two meetings of that day with Fernando and with David to Elena Carcella respectively, both just said, get here when you get here. Esther was like, if you need to stop and get, you must be able to stop and get something. I'm like, I'm not going to stop and get something. I'm going to go. So I ended up getting down to Elena, and it was my first my first vineyard stop. Yeah. So walking out into the vineyards was just like, where am I? It was absolutely brilliant. But Fernando met me, took me around, we tasted some things, and to be fair, I got to taste this, not this one, but the current vintage coming out straight out of the concrete vat. But let's bring
Fernando.
Let's bring Fernando in, and he can tell the story of Viña Elena and the wines.
Hi guys.
Hey Fernando, how are you?
I am really good, thank you. How are you guys?
Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. And we also had to do our wine tasting in the dark. We were tasting out of the barrels, and obviously someone went and turned all the lights off. So we're there with our iPhones. You don't need light to taste it.
Is that not like a kind of sensory experience you could charge for? Restaurants do this. Eat in the pitch black. Taste your wine in the pitch black. I think you should charge extra for that.
Exactly. But no, I've obviously told my story about my delay getting to you, and thank you for hanging out and waiting and your hospitality. But let me pass over to you to talk a little bit about Viña Elena
and his Monastrell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're on. Yes.
Oh, am I on the right?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
He's trying to make jokes with me. He's got it wrong.
I got that. That's the next one.
Please.
Okay, fair enough. This one actually is a Monastrell. Okay.
Yeah. So guys, first of all, thank you so much for the invitation. It's a real pleasure being here with you, talking about the Monastrell, talking about the winery and our region, the Jumilla region. So So the winery, so my name is Fernando Pacheco. Bodegas Millennia is a family business. My great grandfather started making wine in 1948. Firstly at the house, then the first winery in 1948, and it's very important because during 1948 until 2002, everything was we were making wine per liter without any kind of appellation. Then the third generation, Elena Pacheco, joined the business in 1992, and the first vintage with the appellation Jumilla was in 2002. So this is very important to understand the process, the different steps. So first step, join the appellation in 2002, first vintage with the appellation Jumilla. Then the next step was in 2014 when we started to think about, was a turning point, thinking in pure Monastrell wines only with Monastrell variety from different locations. Because as you know, Jumilla is not a really flat appellation. It's more about like a mountain from the south 360 meters to the north 900 meters. So it means it's a region where you can find different styles of Monastrell, different altitudes, different kind of, let me say, ripeness. Because when you are at the south, the south is more like a grill, and north is more slow cooking. This is very important. So here we are tasting a wine from the south, from 360 meters. So this is Paraje Marin. The name Marin is because it's located in our valley. The name of our location is the Marin Valley, and this one is a specific Monastrell from this valley, from the south. So guys, in Spain, in end of August, basically it's too hot, but we need to harvest the Monastrell because otherwise over ripeness. So we harvest the Marine Valley, this wine, the grapes for this wine we harvest end of August because we want to avoid over ripeness. We want to have this kind of fresh fruit. And we need to pay a lot of attention because as you know, in August we have many heat waves and we need to pay attention about the ripeness. So for us, the philosophy, the winemaking philosophy is important for us to explain how we understand Jumilla, how we understand the Monastrell variety. Because as you know, in Spain, Cabernet Sauvignon was really popular around 2002, 2005, 2007. So my aunt planted Cabernet Sauvignon. My aunt started making a 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. But during the years, we understand that the key variety is the Monastrell, that the key point is the origin. So for example, in this wine, we are using concrete tanks because for us, how the way that we understand the Monastrell is avoiding the French oak, avoiding the oak aging. Because after many tasting, after many years, blind tasting, we identify that the Monastrell express really well without any kind of oak. Or if you want to use the oak aging, is slightly oaked, is also nice. But also using neutral oak, use oak. For us, is the best expression of the Monastrell. So we don't need to add
there's a quick question on here about it getting hot and needing to harvest. Do you have an opportunity to pick at night where it's a little bit cooler, or is it not as cool in the valley that it doesn't make a lot of difference?
So for us, the key point is about the mornings. It's about
Okay.
During the nights, it's more difficult, it's more complicated because you need the torch, you need the light, and also you need to understand that the grapes are still warm, are still hot. So you need some hours to reduce the temperature. So the key point to harvest the Monastrell for us is during the early morning and then finish, for example, at 12 o'clock. p.m.
So
12 p.m.
early morning rather than late night.
That's really interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
it's
is it
what we
all
think.
hand harvested?
Yeah. You need to understand that Jumilla, when we talk about Monastrell, 90%, or let me say 95%, is bush wine. So when we talk about Monastrell, it's always bush wine, dry farmed, very important, organic, and also, guys, the density is low density. It's about between 2.8 and 2.8 meters between vines, because we need a space. The root need a space to absorb the moisture and the nutrients. If we introduce more vines per hectare, we can have problems when we have a complicated summer, a complicated spring, if we don't have the enough rain. So this is the one 2024 concrete aging, bottled last year. In this one was bottled in March last year, so 1 year already in bottle. And this is the style. So we want to have fruit driven, easy drinking, and medium body wine. Okay, we want to have more. We want to be more in the fresh side of the Monastrell with this wine.
And you've completely achieved that. It's really good. It's really good. I guess that machine harvesting just wouldn't work at all with those bush vines and everything. It would be really difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
We've got a
impossible to use
comparison here.
machines.
Yeah. We've got an interesting comparison to a sort of Beaujolais village. I would personally say it's a lot nicer than that, but
Yes.
yeah.
But I think it showcases my point earlier about what the expectation of Monastrell from Jumilla is and what can actually come out of Jumilla. You know, the two wines we just had are both brilliant wines, but both vastly different due to where they come from. You know, winemaking techniques and style. You know, and I think this is the thing. There's lots of brilliant wines of different styles. So it's not, you can't go out there and go, I like Jumilla Monastrell or I don't. It's kind of going, I like Chardonnay or I don't like Chardonnay. Well, it depends. Is it being oaked? Where is it from? Is it being aged? And I'm hoping this kind of showcases the last two wines, two absolutely brilliant styles,
but completely different. Yeah.
But I think that's what helps the region. If the region succeeds as a whole, it succeeds as a whole. And what was nice is anyone I talked to was very much, these people make this, or I go, I'm going there next. Oh, they make a brilliant XYZ. It wasn't about my wine's better than anyone else's wine. It was all about what we're trying to do as a region. Yeah. And I think that was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
In terms of the question here, was the one it was just concrete.
Concrete.
So there is, if the little quick video will work.
We'll give it a try. The videos are not being very cooperative, but we will be putting all of the videos, and he's got loads more out on social media. He has videoed the valleys. Should we give it a try?
Yeah. So if you want to get your wine out, Elena,
tasting from the tank.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
So you might get your wine out of a bottle. This is how I got to taste it.
Sample there.
So that's what you're getting next year.
Yeah, exactly. So we were tasting the 2025, and we will be bottled mid-April. Yes, so the all concrete tanks we are using for this one, the all concrete tanks that the first together with the second generation, they built the all concrete tanks in 1960.
Wow. So so we talked a lot about very deep roots, and I'll get pictures up on the internet as well. You've got a particular vine on the winery, haven't you? Just to show how deep roots need to go.
Yeah. As you know, one of the key points in Jumilla is the long root system. So we need that kind of system, that kind of long root system to survive, because the Monastrell, as you know, is this area is quite dry. It's too hot. And we need that kind of sandy soils, and then the roots are going down. Yeah, this is very important.
So you can just kind of see. So this wasn't when I was there because there was nothing there. It was just the roots.
Yeah.
But this kind of shows the spacing of the vines, how far apart they are. Because if they were any closer, they would be competing for the little amount of water and would just sabotage each other. You wouldn't get anything. So that kind of just shows, you know, how far apart they are. The work that goes into hand harvesting, it's exceptional, you know. And I was there in the rain. I can't. It still wasn't cold. So I can't imagine. You know, you get what 40, 42, 45 degree days in the summertime, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. During the heat waves, is about 40, 42 degrees. Normal temperature during summer is about 35, 37. Heat waves 40, 42, even 45 specific days.
How much does it drop at night time during those heat waves?
So it's about 20 degrees difference between daytime, nighttime. So it's a big difference. It's crazy, yeah.
That just lets everything recover. That's so cool. We got some lovely tasting notes, mixture of primary, secondary, tertiary flavors. What a cool wine.
No, absolutely. So, Fernando, as I've asked everybody else, what makes Jumilla special? What makes it different? And why should people be getting out there to visit it and get into the vineyards?
Yeah, so for me, three 2 points. First one is the versatility. So Monastrell that are without any kind of oak are quite versatile, food friendly. They are really food friendly. You can choose, for example, a cod with a fried tomato sauce, for example. You can go for a simple sandwich, and then is probably Monastrell is one of the key wines when we talk about fruit-driven style, because that kind of medium body, long finish, fruit-driven style is one of the key wine, not only in Spain, but also in the whole world. And as you know, probably this kind of product, this kind of liquid, probably is the key. Let me say, in terms of organic, probably is one of the more pure organic product in the market.
Absolutely. No, so thank you so much for your time tonight. Thank you so much for sitting around and waiting for me for 4 hours. And hopefully next time I get over, we can spend a little bit more time together and you know, see some more stuff. But the wines are brilliant, and really excited to have them on the tasting. So thank you so much for this evening and everything. Take care, and we'll let you know how much people love them.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Have a great day.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Excellent.
But yeah, you know, that was when I met with Fernando, that was my first foray into the vineyards, to see, you know, the sandy soils, the deep roots, the almost like other planet plantings that were so far apart, and go, oh, is it all going to be like this? And you know, you have a concept of what you expect, but then when you see it in person, and there's nothing quite like being in the vineyard with the people, soil in the hand, that kind of stuff. So as we move on to wine number 4,
Paul, he's missing out tonight. Well, catch up soon. You're definitely missing out. This is a great one.
We are heading to Bodegas Carcello with David. So I've got 2 apologies here for David.
Oh, okay.
A, he waited for me till 7:30, nearly 8 o'clock at night after I'd been to see Fernando, and he's like, "Oh, it's still early in Spain." I'm like, "Past 5." And the first thing he said to me was, you might be tired. I can keep my patter to a minimum if you want to. I'm like, no. Doesn't matter if I'm tired or not. I'm here. And I got there. There's a charcuterie board on the table. We're walking around the winery. And then I realized, as I put my tasting notes together today, I have a bottle of wine that says Guarafia Garnacha Fina Viñedas Singulares. And I've managed in the tasting notes to write Monastrell because I'm useless. So cross your tasting notes out, you know, ignore Monastrell, because this is a brilliant single vineyard
100% Garnacha Fina.
But some really interesting things going on at Carcello. So if David is ready to go, we can bring him in. And I will get the wine.
David is there. I can see him. I just need to be able to click him. There we are. Excellent. Some top quality editing there, Mr. Taylor.
Hi.
Good evening.
Evening. How are you? How are you?
Fine, thank you. Hi, everyone.
It's really good to see you. Really good to see you, and really, really excited to be showing these wines. So, when I was there visiting, we were walking through, and the lady, is it Helen at the winery?
Was Helen? Yes.
Was packing these bottles up. So this bottle was on the table while I was there, and I'm right in saying usually they wax dip them. So the wax dip is a really nice finish. And I said, well, we're going to pack them. So
yep.
So they're like, we're going to pack them. I'm like, so
please don't.
Yeah, it's like, we just need to wax them and send it to you. I'm like, well, if it saves you a job, it saves us a job. So I got to the source and saved that one. But brilliant wines, some really cool stuff, some really fun stuff. There was some orange wine, some white blend, some single vineyard stuff. Some really, really interesting, innovative stuff happening alongside some of the classic Jumilla things. I went, there's one wine. I'm like, oh, how does that do in a concrete egg? And I pointed at the concrete egg, and it's like, no, that's not concrete. It's a plastic resin composite. I'm like, oh,
that's you told.
Hey, it looked like concrete. There was a granite box further along, but there was that. Some really cool stuff. Some old library wine that you were so kind to open and let me try while we were there. But what we've got tonight is the single vineyard Garnacha. So a little bit about the winery. It's early 90s it started, and but I don't need to tell this story. That's what you're here for. So I'll hand over to you, sir.
Yeah, I was remembering your visit, and it was great actually. I think we opened some 2005 bottle from our library, something like this.
Wow.
Yeah, just to see the potential of the aging of the Jumilla wines, of course. And we have a very good time. Not a lot of light because but it was good.
It's a bit dark, bit rainy. Okay, let's stop bullying me about the weather. It's not my fault. I didn't have a carry-on full of rain. I promise.
I know. Okay, so thank you both for organizing this tasting, and hello and hi everyone. My name is David. I'm part of the family of Bodegas Carcello, of course, in the Jumilla appellation of origin. We are just located in the map of the Jumilla appellation in southeast corner. So we are just in front of a beautiful place that is the Carce mountain range. It's a natural park. It's protected. And of course, it's not as green as Great Britain is, of course, but for us, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful Mediterranean forest, and of course, part of our vineyards are there. And this one also, the Garnacha, is protected by this influence of the Carce mountain. So Carcello was established in 1990. It's a family winery, and our main goal from the very beginning was to show the potential of our region, of our grapes, our soils. In general, speaking in general, our terroir. In Spanish, we say terruño is the Spanish word, and when you have different kids putting together, like you have people with dynamic people like Jumilla people is, and also beautiful grapes as Monastrell and also Garnacha and others, and this climate and these soils, only good things can happen. So nowadays, I think we are in the good way, and we are in the very, very high level of winemaking and also vine growing. And yes, about the winery. Yes, 1919, as I said, in Carcello, in Cerro Carce. Carcello, it's linked. The name is linked with the Carce mountain. It's some part of this wind that comes from the mountain. So really gives some freshness and additional freshness again with the altitude, and that is also a key point for our region. And rain. This year is a beautiful year. I think it's the best winter that I can remember in the last, 10, 15 winters. Yeah, it's a nice rain. We finger crossed for the spring to have a nice spring and nice summer. And what it makes this wine, this Garnacha, Garnacha special is like that is not, of course, it's not a native grape, but it's a Mediterranean grape. It's really, really well adapted to the Mediterranean climate and to the continental climate. So we decided to really make something different, and what we make it was hand-picked grapes, of course, also in the early morning, because of my previous colleague says is the best time of the day to harvest the grapes. And then, of course, we go to chill them out, to cool down a little bit during the night, and then the next day we sort the bunches, and we go to maceration, carbonic maceration with this wine. So it starts as carbonic maceration wine, and then we stop this maceration with steam all the bunches, and we put again to these open barriques to finish the alcoholic fermentation. So it's a combined fermentation method. So we got the best of the both processes. And after this, aging also, you saw, Jamie, this cubic barrique of granite is a stone, so it's not oak influenced. And we wanted this to keep this freshness, these soft tannins, and this fragility, in some words, to do a fruit-forward wine, nice and complex, with a beautiful and long length. And the name is Guarafia. Also, names are important to explain wines. And Guarafia is it's a cliff. It's a cliff that is in the Carter Mountain, and this, as I like to say, is like a mineral environment with a very delicate balance, and that's what we want to express with this one. Yeah, I showed the that's the that's the label. Yeah, for us it was super nice to can elaborate this wine, because it's as you said, Jumilla is very diverse, and it's this one of our potential, right? The diversity. We can of course, we are the kings of the Monastrell in the world. We can find every single expression of the Monastrell and put them in our wines. So it depends on the altitude, the climate, of course, the philosophy of the winemaker, during the process. But also we can grow beautiful Mediterranean varieties like Garnacha, like Syrah, and and show that we can, in Jumilla also, we can do this. Not only, of course, fruity driven. They are fruity driven because we have a lot of sun. We have this beautiful Mediterranean climate, but we also can do this kind of more soft, in the soft palate wines, right? So that's more or less my explanation. I don't know what to say, because I can be speaking the whole night.
The wine. This wine is brilliant.
It's brilliant.
And I think from coming to the winery, just some of the things that are to showcase what there is. You've obviously got that slightly oxidative white that was absolutely brilliant. The orange wines that were clean and fresh and not that overly natural kind of style. And it was just, I think, it was, once again, it was, my first day there, and it really added to that kind of surprise of the unexpected. And it wasn't unexpected. Sometimes you get unexpected wine and go, yeah, that's weird. But I saw the bottles, I'm like, that's weird. And then I tasted them, and it just showcased it was brilliant. There wasn't, a bad wine in the lineup. And sometimes you go to regions and people make 5 or 6 different wines, and they're all much of a muchness. It's either, it had 2 months more in oak, or it did it. And you go, there's nothing exciting.
We used a more expensive new barrel on this one, yeah.
But it seems, not only at your winery, but across the region, that each wine had a reason, a sense of place, why it was made, and how it fits into that winery's psyche and winemaking and what it should be. So, absolutely brilliant wines. And I'm going to go back to my thing.
Oh, can I just quickly ask? Can I ask a winemaking question? I know we're behind, but I want to ask. No, so I'm fascinated by what you're saying, because if I was going to smell this, I would say it's maybe like 10% whole bunch. But like you're saying it's a short time, a semi-carbonic maceration. So do you
but it's
crush a little bit?
100%.
It's 100%. You keep whole bunch
At the beginning,
for a
yes,
short time.
we go full carbonic maceration, then we stop, and
Then you
with the
stop and
steam, and we
crush.
finish like alcoholic fermentation. Yes, it's a lot of work,
How good is
but
that?
it
Look
really
how
works.
excited he is.
It's a lot of
I love
work.
love
Yeah.
hearing different techniques.
I'm going to
This
get
is
Alex
great.
to come over and do
Yep.
harvest with you for his, make him happy. I'd love it.
Yeah, but there's this lovely coffee kind of texture, note that comes through, as well as the fruit. There's so much going on. It's fresh, it's delicious, it just cuts through. I'm having this. We've had a few different recommendations. We've had Belarzu truffle and pecorino nuts as one of the recommendations, and we've had some charcuterie and manchego. For me,
I think there's a note before we move on. There was a mention here that someone said about having this slightly chilled.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that? Yes.
A little bit chilled.
Yeah.
Well, especially in
A little
Spain.
bit. Yeah, you can chill a little bit. Yes. I will prefer to drink that like it is, and the best pairing for me is with friends.
Friends. It's a very drinkable wine.
Look at that. That was
I look like an idiot by saying
that was the commercial answer, wasn't it? Drink it with friends.
Drink it with friends. I'm going to say with friends who are eating secreto pork.
Also, it's a good combination.
That's what I want with this. Happy days.
But David, thank you so much for your
thank
time.
you.
Thank you for the hospitality,
you.
and the wines are brilliant, and we'll be in touch.
Great stuff.
Have a great evening.
Keep enjoying.
Cheers.
Bye.
What fun this is! This is so cool.
That was brilliant. This is
oh my god!
Is this the equivalent of like speed dating with wines? It's brilliant, isn't it?
It is. Except I want all of them so far. That's no different to speed dating.
That's not an option. That's not an option.
It's a bit like swiping right on everything on Tinder. Or whichever direction you swipe. I don't know which direction you swipe.
But yeah, that was as I was driving in there. It was starting to get dark. The wind was picking up. The rain was coming. It's like, before we go inside, you need to come out here and see this. So we stood as like the lights fading into it. And I'm like, oh, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like, not that it's my fault or anything, but it's, there's not much
we can blame you for EasyJet. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
all right,
anyway,
1-5.
We are heading on to
let's press on.
Yeah, we are heading on to San Dionisio, and this was my last stop of the trip. And this was, if anyone follows us on social media, this is where the 1 million litre barrel was, which we've got a picture of.
I've got a picture of that. Yeah. That's a big tank.
Which I was like, how many is that? And that's 1 million litres. So this is another co-op. They make 35 million litres of wine a year. And there was the weird wine geek in me and the weird logistics person in me that I'm like, they've got this coming in, and they're like, here's the way in where the lorries come in, and then they have to assign the certain grapes from the co-ops that come in at different times to then go to that project to make this and do it. And
when you see the way they sample these things, sticking these lances in to try to take
madness.
Get all the data.
It's
hard work.
I stuck my head into it. I'm like, nearly, and I'm like, no, I'm not that good at flying a drone. I wanted to put my drone up in the 1 million litre tank because it was big enough to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So
so Gemma, who took me around there, who's their export director, absolutely brilliant. When we're talking, she's like, do I need to join? I'm like, what? She's like, so I'm in Denmark and I've got a client dinner and I can join you live if you really need me. And I'm like, well, the fact I've been out here and I've talked to you and this, that, the other, don't destroy your client dinner, because we all know how the wine world is. And if you're at a client dinner trying to sell your wine, that's where you need to be. So she was absolutely brilliant. It was my last day, and so I was there, and then I had a big chunk before the airport. It's like, well, if you're not getting to it, do you want to go for lunch? So we went for lunch to this little place round the corner, and the winemaker was with us. Jen was there, as the translating person. What was brilliant about this is, when I went somewhere, there was always a couple of people looked after me. It's like, I'm going to translate, I'm going to do it. And I learned that my Spanish isn't as horrific as I thought, and I kind of started to understand some things. But there's food came out, and then another course, and then another course. Yeah. And it was just like, do you want more? We've got 2 more courses coming, but after that, do you want more? I'm like, no, I'm done. The food, the
hospitality.
I'm going off at tangent here, but the food was brilliant. And I had a couple of dinners. I had the lot. And
Spanish food is every bit as good as the
Simple.
best of
So
Italy
much of
and
it was
France.
simple, fresh. I had this brilliant little like pan-fried goat cheese. So not deep fried, pan-fried goat,
Yeah.
just like with fresh tomatoes. Just you go. It sounds a bit boring, but when it's there and it's done, it was brilliant. And you know, tasting the wines was fantastic. But anyway, so
So who's this?
so this is Bodega San Dioniso, and this is their 12-month. So this is an oak-aged
Yeah,
Monastrell.
I was going to say it tastes
2022,
almost Rioja-y.
12 months. And this was a little bit further north in Jumilla. And if we've got the map, you can see Fuente del Meno, which is
find that.
if you go up to the north, right here, Fuente Alamo. So it was about a 45-minute drive from Jumilla, but you're going up in the hills and you're 850 meters here. So this is another co-op, and I think it's Jumilla's biggest co-op with the volumes that I make. But I was out in the vineyard with the enologist. So we have a little video of that, just kind of talking through why Monastrell does well and what's important for it. That's the one, and we can go to this, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about the wine.
Sounds good.
Lo bueno que tiene que nosotros tengamos el Monastrell a tanta altura es porque el Monastrell también, aunque sea una variedad tardía y que aguanta bastante las altas temperaturas y el estrés hídrico, es una variedad sufridora y necesita sufrir para dar calidad, pero al estar también en altura, lo que conseguimos es que no se nos dispare el azúcar y vaya la maduración fenólica vaya más acompasada con la maduración de azúcar, que no se cargue de azúcar y se quede las pieles sin taninos. En verano, aquí a partir del 15 de agosto, las temperaturas por la noche caen bastante y por el día hace calor, pero por la noche hace fresquete. Entonces eso ayuda también a que las maduraciones sean bastante lentas.
So yeah, this was, you know, a big winery by the, you know, the size of the tanks that you saw. But they make large production, they make much smaller production, and you know, this is one of their smaller things. And I tasted through a lot of their different things, and they've got some stuff that's €2-3 that's just fresh, easy going. They've got some mid-tier stuff. They've got what's called their Roble, which is 4 months in oak, and then they've got this, which is 12 months. So this is Crianza.
Yeah.
But I think once again, it just showcases what you can do and how Monastrell is not all the same thing. We've got a little image as well. You've got an image, he says. There's a picture that there's on the back of the bottle, and I don't know if I can do it there. There's a picture of a church.
Like that one.
Oh, you can see that. So the picture on the bottle there is the picture of that church. So yeah, they took me into town to see that. And it's a tiny little place. We walked in this restaurant and there was one old bloke at the bar having a couple of beers and us in the restaurant. And
excellent.
And you would expect if you went to somewhere like that, the food would be rubbish. There's no one there. But it was perfect. You know, I went out for dinner on the first night, and you know, it was the food was brilliant, the service was brilliant, and the restaurant on the first night. And if you follow us on Instagram, you'll have seen the video. Go down. They've got this whole cave of wine, and Esther was like, "What do you want to drink?" And I'm like, "Can you pick? I'm in Jumilla. Why don't you pick?" And what was great? It was great for me to go. Please pick my food. Please pick my wine, because I'm in the region, and let me know what I should have. And so the first night was very, very classic. The second night was kind of it was classics on a riff. So there was this like spicy shrimp salad, but it was on like crackers, and you had to break into it. And then it was a 2-color tuna. So it's tuna. Half of it was seared, the other half wasn't. So one half was sashimi, the other half was just like seared. It was brilliant. Amazing. And a deconstructed tiramisu. So it had this white chocolate cup on the top, and the guy came tableside, poured coffee into it, and that melted. And
I should have sent help to rescue you.
I know. It's good job I was only there for a couple of days.
Tragic. Oh dear.
But I think it is important, as you know, we're talking through this a little bit, and they've got a wine museum as well, which is, you know, it's small, it's nice. You can go, you can have a little wander around, and it is, you know, it's not a big town in here. It's maybe 15,000-20,000 people. It's not a big town, but
Berkhamsted.
Good food, nice people. It's a castle.
There is a castle, very much like Berkhamsted, except better wine.
Which I was told, oh, you should walk up to the castle. There's signs at the bottom going, it's like this. But I did it. I drone, and if anyone watched, the opening video, that is my drone footage from up at the castle. Very proud of myself.
And if you couldn't see it, we'll get it up on socials.
But anyway, back to the
if you handed me this and said this is a Rioja Reserva, I think you would have said to me, I would have not questioned you one little bit.
Well, you're not getting invited to Jumilla, then,
I'm
are
not
you?
going to get
Comments
invited,
like
but I say that as a person who loves Rioja. I love Rioja and I love this style of wine. So I'm not saying it's in any. I'm saying that you've captured all the good bits of it. It's in a complete different place.
It's definitely more textural.
Yeah,
it's got that vanilla-iness about it. It's got a little bit more spice to it than the other two.
And as Russell says, it's amazing how that little bit of oaking has quite a subtle impact.
But it doesn't blow its head off. Does it?
It doesn't
blow its head off.
No.
How are we looking on the tasting notes for this one?
Oh, lots of them. Lots of tasting notes. Leather, lots of tertiary things. Leather, tobacco. But still plenty of fruit as well. We got cloves from the winemaking. We've got pepper, cocoa, spice. We've got bramble fruits, dried plums, wild strawberry, black cherry, damsons. Yeah, super cool. Russell thinks only a Crianza. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, I mean, it depends on which producer you go from. I think that would be my view. So, like, there are.
Oh, it's got that time of night. There's a badger in the tasting notes.
There is definitely a badger. There was a badger in the last one as well, I think. But yes, indeed. Now this is great. This is a lovely one. Fuente Alamo is a great place to hang around in the square and just have your wine while the neighbours gather around.
But it's another tiny little town. I was talking to so we drove up into the vineyards, and for anyone who lives local to us or near Tring, it's a bit of an inside. It was this little dirt track road, and I should have stopped and taken a thing full of potholes, full of this, and it had a little sign on it that said A41, which is the dual carriageway down the road from us, which is always
it
a
links
problem.
our two towns together. Yes,
but
yeah, the A41.
Where was I going? I had a real story for that.
Yeah.
But it's a tiny town. I asked them about things. It's about 1,500 people, 2,000 people.
Wow,
and these wineries employ, especially at harvest time, so much, and much of these regions, what they do, tourism is great, but what they do to employ, and I had churros for breakfast as well. Brilliant food.
Churros for breakfast with a coffee, I hope.
Oh, absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely.
good. Or even a hot chocolate. Yeah.
But I think that kind of,
local.
I think it showcases, Jumilla makes a decent amount of wine for the representation it gets globally, if that makes sense.
For
and
sure.
I think doing stuff like that, people need more of a shout. So, but there we go.
That's great.
So
So we've got here another great point. So Russell's experience of eating out in Jumilla is lots of meat and lamb. Oh, sorry, no, this is a question to Jamie. So was it more like meat and lamb in the mountains, or more like on the coast with fish? Like,
So it was a good blend. It was a good blend. There was a lot of seafood, a lot of prawns, bass, but then there was a lot like rabbit. Rabbit was there, croquetas,
of course,
and had some delicious baby goat.
Oh, that sounds amazing! Yeah.
So it's really quite varied. It's dairy country, so I had the goat's cheese, and then I ate the goat. It's a full circle economy. Lots of fresh vegetables, the tomatoes there, and it's that absolutely crying out. And we say it so many times about European wine regions, that it's what goes together grows together.
Yeah,
but the food and the wine, it's local, it's seasonal, it's brilliant.
What's that? The suckling pig that they do, where they cut it with a plate, coccinella or something like that. It just looks so fatty, so crunchy on the outside, so soft and tender. The food's great. I love it. I love it all. I love a black paella as well, with all of that. Arroz negro.
Oh yeah, you speak Spanish as well.
No, I do not. That's my big problem.
But anyway,
cochinillo from Segovia. Thank you, Carolina. There we go. Yes, that's good.
It's good when you've got people in there in the background to tell us all about what we need.
To just confirm or tell us what we're saying wrong. Right, so let's move it on to wine number 6, because it is late in the night.
And we are heading to Luzon, and we are having their Porty, and I believe Dominica is joining us.
Dominica. She's not with us quite yet, so when she's here, I shall bring her on. But in the meantime, well, I'll pop her in the corner. Oh, here she is. Fantastic.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for hanging around.
Lovely to see you. How are you? And thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
And thank you for staying and being the last one of the evening. I hope you've enjoyed the crowd so far. So when I headed over to Luzon, myself and Dominic headed out, hang out and drive into the car park, and it looks quite big, but it's an unassuming winery from the front. There's a big kind of statue, the Luzon logo. You go in, there's a tasting room, and then you go on the tour, and you walk through the winery, through the winemaker, and then you go down into the old part of the winery, the sanctuary, the cellar, and
sanctuary.
Yes, and it is.
Tell me you got some photos.
I'm not here. I'm showing. We did a walkthrough. I've got a 35-minute video that I'm going to edit in its entirety to share on YouTube because I had lots of still photos, and it's quite different. If the very intro video had a little bit of us walking through it, which was brilliant. But it was from what you see and what you expect, and then when you walk through, it's a different world. But the wines were brilliant. Once again, another winery that makes wines of different styles and different levels. But I thought the Porti has such a brilliant story, what it's all about. And I'm not going to share any more because I'll give away the punchline. I'm going to hand over to Dominica to talk through. But
This is exciting. I
think Porti is everything that wine should be about. But lovely to see you. And I'll hand over to you to talk through Luzon and the wine we've got in the glass.
Yes. So good evening, everyone. I'm Dominica, export manager at Viticulture Luzon. And today I'm going to introduce a very special wine. So this is Porti. Porti is not just a wine. It also has a special meaning. It was created as a personal project of our CEO, inspired by the birth of his first child. Because of this, the wine represents love, family, and important moments in life. The name Porti, it means for you. So it's a wine made to share with someone special, with your loved ones. In fact, the bottle includes a very emotional phrase that represents this idea. So in Spanish, it's eres lo que jamás soñé, lo que nunca creí merecer. So in English, it means you are what I never dreamed of, what I never thought I deserved. This shows that the wine is not only about taste, but also about feelings and connection. So the wine is a blend of 80% Monastrell and 20% Cabernet Sauvignon. Monastrell gives power, body, fruit, flavors, while Cabernet Sauvignon adds elegance and structure. It is also aged 18 months in French and American oak, which gives the wine more complexity. As you can see, because you are the wine. Sorry, I don't have the wine open, not today. But as you can see,
you've tasted it before.
It has a deep red color. It is clean, bright. On the nose, we have ripe fruits, such as cherry, blackberry, spices, vanilla, and toasted notes. On the mouth is full body, rich, smooth, balanced, with really soft tannins. You can taste this ripe fruit, cocoa, and toasted flavors. So it's a wine that combines quality and emotion. It represents both the land of Jumilla and the idea of sharing special moments we care about. And that would be the presentation of Porti. It's also my favorite wine from the winery. As I said, when you visited us, I bought one bottle for my husband for our anniversary. And I gave the wine to my husband. Here you have your gift. But I drink the wine by myself, so.
No, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Fantastic.
But yeah, I think
wow, that's amazing. That's great.
The winery's got some brilliant history. It's obviously named after where the owner was stationed when he was abroad. And can you just tell us a little? I mentioned the sanctuary, and I don't think I can quite do it justice trying to explain it myself. But walking through, can you just explain what that's all about with the that being in there, that quiet, special moment, and the wines that are being held there?
Yeah, so you start from the moment now, and we travel to the past. So this in the oldest part of the winery, we have a sanctuary and the cathedral. So this is like that from the 1841, from the 19. And in the sanctuary, we keep the last 100 bottles of our premium wines. So we started to do it in 2001, and from this moment, so about 120 bottles of Porti and other premium wines that we have, because we want to share with the people that comes to our winery something that we can share with, not only speaking about story and production, but also you can see it by yourself when you visit it.
No, absolutely. As I said, I think the wines were brilliant, and there's always another winery that has wines in different tiers. There's some more entry-level drinkable wines. There's some premium wines, and it really showcased what it was about. Yeah, they've got you drive in, there's vineyards out the front, you come in and you look to the left and you can see where there's the big wines being made, but then you walk through it and you're underground and there's these barrels, and you go, how do they ever get them out if they need them? Like, because it's a long way, a lot of work. But it just seemed very calming, very relaxed, just to walk around. So it was absolutely brilliant. And I don't know. So, and on the bottle, and this is why everyone should buy a bottle of this, there's tiers, and the tiers change color when the wine is ready to drink. Is that correct?
That's it. So you can find the face. The face is crying because when you share, sometimes you can cry. So it's crying because it's happy. It's not because it's a sad face. And the tears, as you can see in my wine, it has the tears in blue, so ready to drink. If it's not ready, they will have a gray color. So normally you will find the bottle with gray color. You can chill the wine a little bit, and when it's blue, it's ready to drink. Yeah.
Brilliant. And I'm very impressed with it, and I think the integration of the Monastrell and the Cabernet Sauvignon has been very skillfully done. So it's not, one's not dominating over the other. They're both expressing themselves. And
absolutely. And it's 15% alcohol, so it's bold, but it's balanced.
But it's balanced. It's got the tannin. It's got all the other elements you need. It's got the fruit. So excellent wine.
So we're getting to that time, but my last question for you, Dominica, why Jumilla? What makes Jumilla special, and why do people need to drink more of it?
So what makes Jumilla special?
Yeah, and why do people need to be drinking a lot more of it?
I think it's special. The food is really good. The people is really nice, and we have incredible wines. The Monastrell is fresh. So there is nothing to complain, So
except when I bring the rain.
No, they're not going to complain about that. No.
Brilliant. No, thank you
that's great.
so much. And I know you hung on and you were the last one of the evening. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for showing me around the winery when I was
delicious
there.
wine.
And
delicious.
Brilliant wine.
Yeah.
So have a great night.
Thank you.
So much.
Thanks to you too. And you are very welcome to come back today.
Oh, I'll have to come next time.
Brilliant. No, thank you so much. Cheers.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Right. Well, I mean, that was 6 wines. I mean, what I love about that is you've got on paper a lot of red wines from the same region of the same country and using a predominance of the same, not just the same grape, but the same style of grapes as well. Like even Monastrell to Garnacha, not 100% dissimilar. Obviously different. But,
you look at Monastrell can also be Mourvedre Mataro, which is blended with Grenache a lot in the Rhone Valley, and you see that.
Exactly. So, and yet, utterly distinctive types of wine, and not just from things like the oak regime. Yes, we've seen that. And if you wanted a masterclass into what does age and oak do to something, yeah, you've got that. But also, what does a natural technique of winemaking offer you? And I think we saw the best of what that sort of natural winemaking style offers you. And then what does it offer you when you go for really neutral aging, like in concrete, that has temperature control that in a hot environment so important, and adds a little bit of air, a little bit of oxygen into it, but doesn't dominate with flavor.
Can we move
utterly
to the quiz?
diverse wines. Yeah, we'll move on to the quiz. Just one last little look at these tasting notes. Badgers, some fruits,
but blackcurrant, big red
Lots
fruits,
of-
jammy.
yeah,
It's an intense wine. I absolutely
intense
loved it.
wine.
So,
Great stuff. So, okay, let us finish off the tasting with our usual dose of silliness. If you haven't already, do scan that little QR code there and join the quiz, because there are prizes to be won. Well, there's a prize to be won.
So yes, so
the usual one.
So no. Actually, we're going to give 2 options of prizes. Usually, the prize is next month's tasting.
Yep.
But there's an option of the prize that if there is someone who you feel should have done this and has missed out desperately, I have a couple of Jumilla of Spain packs left.
Yeah.
So if you've got a friend who is in desperate need and should be doing this, we will give them a shout and we'll send them.
And they might find a couple of little Jumilla themed extras in there. But we shall see about that. Yes, people are joining. So welcome all the people who are joining the quiz.
If you are a winemaker or wine representative, you may not join the quiz.
No, you can join.
Or you can join. You just can't.
You can't win.
Actually, you can win. Get involved. Get involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
But brilliant. Well, we've still got a few of the winemakers in the background. So if there are any last questions about anything you desperately want to know, please
do that. We've got. I can see David, Mario, Carolina, Dominica. Yes. So, but anyway, we will get on with the quiz because it is that time.
So it's about correctness and speed. Ready, steady, go.
So, for those of you who have been paying attention, of course, you'll know in what year did Jumilla become a DOP? That is a designation of origin protected. I know, but I'm translating it into
that's very good
English in the wrong order. So 1812, 66, 73, or 82. Is 66 just in there because
it's World Cup year, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, God. What's the answer? Please tell me I'm not just being a sausage. Okay. All right, how do I do it? Reveal the answer. I don't know what I've done here. Yes. You are correct. It was 66. Well done. Bravo. Julia in the lead.
We probably want to make it a bit bigger on our screen because they don't want to see us. They want to see the questions.
That's a fair point. Okay. Yeah. There's a bigger one. There you go. All right. Okay. For approximately how many hours does the sun shine in this particular region? 500, 1250, 3000, or 4500? Are there even that many?
You can't
get rid of that.
The question, can you?
Are there even 4,500 hours in a year? I don't know. Certainly not of sunshine in Hertfordshire. Lots of people saying 3,000. It's the correct answer. Okay, next question.
Julian's still there.
Julian's
9
still in the
seconds.
lead.
That is
Wow.
fast.
Speedy.
Must have a good internet connection. Whereas spot the odd one out.
The odd one out.
Oh,
Monastrell?
that's like a proper wine question.
This is
from me,
actual
isn't it?
wine question. My God. Monastrell, Mataro, Mourvedre, or Molinara? Which is the odd one out?
Monastrell, because it's the only one we've drunk tonight. He says.
Oh, I've just seen a couple of Q&A questions as well. Should we place a higher value than we usually do on distinctiveness? I think it depends on what you kind of want from a wine. But I love distinctiveness.
We can go after that.
We'll go after that. Well, yeah, okay. Well, let's keep moving on. Molinara is indeed the correct
because
answer.
the rest are.
Where's the what's happened to the?
It's because I put a new question in. Don't worry about it.
Okay, but where's the? Anyway, what does Pie Franco translate to? The pie of Franco. Free-footed French vines or a grafted rootstock?
Well, you would hope if you had an entire page dedicated to it, you might have looked at the brochure. I'm just saying.
Pierre Yezu.
Yeah, I think I put some new questions in. So,
Okay, all right.
Not be a,
fair enough.
Keeps them on their toes.
Is it Franco's pie? No,
it's not
free-footed.
No
French vines?
No one thought it was a Frank-footed.
No,
Franco-footed.
Free-footed,
and that is for the grafted phylloxera free wines.
Chris F jumping into the lead. Next question: why are so many vines of Jumilla ungrafted? I actually not sure we discussed this, but it does. I think that says something about it in the thing.
Well, I was hoping people would do, some pre-study. Can't just walk into a test and expect to know everything.
True. Is it tradition, regulations, phylloxera in sandy soils, or is it because it makes the wine taste sweeter? I don't think they need much help with that, do they?
Well, you never know. You never know who's turned up, do you? You never know.
It is because phylloxera, the bug, survives very poorly in sandy soils. Yes.
Chile, very similar.
Yep, indeed. And Lanzarote in places like.
Well, Chris is ahead, but he's not as quick. So, it could go anywhere.
It could go anyway. So, which styles of wine does Jumilla make? Rich, jammy reds, interesting floral whites, sweet wines, fresh chillable reds, or all of the above? Gosh, this sounds like a marketing question, doesn't it, Jamie Smith?
I did have a brilliant Dolce Monastrell. Absolutely brilliant.
I wonder what the answer will be here.
No, I'm just trying to keep everybody involved.
Okay,
Give everyone a free point. Is it going to be 100% question?
Would you look at that? Most of the people said all of the above. Correct. Okay, Chris F retains the lead, but if Chris and Sally or Daria get in there quickly, it is going to be tight. Okay, I shall push the button.
Go on then. That's meters above sea level, by the way, for MASL.
I thought that was you saying that you're a male and you're asking for someone's age, sex, and location, like from early in the
back to AOL.
Yahoo chat days or something. Yeah.
No, not quite.
Okay. Most people guessed correctly, but it was tight. I'm interested to see what happens when I click next for the second to last question. Oh, it doesn't. It's not giving me a leaderboard. Why does it not do that? Okay,
I took it out.
You took it out. Right, before tonight, when was the last time we packed a wine of Jumilla in a tasting? Was it Wines of Spain, the Advent Calendar, Old Vines, or this is the very first time we've ever done Jumilla wines? There's an extra capital I in there. So I thought I'd just scream it out loud. Happy days. Okay. Oh, gosh.
So...
Oh, this is a tricky one because
we did do it in Old Vines.
We did an Advent Calendar.
We did do it in the Advent Calendar. We didn't do it in Wines of Spain.
Nope.
So it's not the first time. So the right answer is it was our 2025 Advent Calendar.
Oh, that was a tricky one.
Yeah.
That was a tricky one.
To be fair, we didn't have that wine in the tasting tonight.
Wow! Out of nowhere, that's amazing. Sandra comes in.
Pop us an email and pop back in. So just because our lovely friends at Jumilla DOP have helped us out with this, there's just a couple of little polls that I'd love you to chuck your things in. Have you got a better understanding? Alex is going to put one because he knew everything about Jumilla before we started.
Naturally.
And then we've got another one. Then we'll go to wines tonight. tonight there isn't pricing. Some of the wines are available in the UK, some of them are not, but there's a possibility to import. So after the weekend, once anyone's had a chance to do a catch up, there'll be an email going, what would you like? And if we can get enough things together, we'll bring the wines in directly for you.
We will do our best. Okay, I think that's most of the answers in on that one. So let's move on to the next one, which is, does it make you want to learn more and taste more wines from the region? Possibly even visit it. Who knows? I know you're going to have done that as a separate question. Ding.
I have not. Did Carolina want to jump back on?
Yeah, let's see if I can get Carolina back in, if she is still around. There she is.
Here I am.
Hello. Welcome back. Welcome back.
The question I have to ask, is that the same glass of wine you started with?
No. Here's the proof. Here's the proof. It's just two glasses. Two glasses.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
So what we're going to do, and so we can now pop onto wine of the night, and we can keep that hidden. But just as we finish up, I think it's been a brilliant night. I think there's been some wonderful wines, and thank you to all the winemakers, all the wine representatives who have joined us tonight, because I think that's what truly brings it to life. But we have the last thoughts, any final thoughts on Jumilla? Anything we've missed? Anything we need to be telling the world? And if people want more information, there's a great website. There's lots of stuff, isn't there? If people want to get more involved and know a little bit more about the wines of the region, isn't there?
Well, thank you guys, and just tell everybody out there that I think I truly believe that choosing Jumilla for your dinner wine glass or dinner with friends or lunch with family, I think it's a great option. It's a great value for money. The quality is a standout, and it conveys so much character, so much truth, and so much of what is this region of Spain that I think that anyone should enjoy it. I truly think so.
Brilliant. No, thank you very much. And as I said, I was out there for 3 days. I have got hours and hours of footage, and I didn't want to share it all beforehand and give it all away. So follow us on social media, follow us on YouTube, and there is going to be an absolute plethora of, I would say, Jumilla-led wine information over holiday snaps. But no, there's so much great stuff for those who want to do a deeper dive. I've got interviews with Fernando, with David, with Dominica, and everybody else that we'll put up in their full glory. It's been brilliant to have everyone on, but sometimes 10 minutes doesn't do justice to what the wineries are doing. So should we have a quick...
one thing, we've got a wonderful comment from Amy. What a region, fantastic wines. Jamie, we've got a question here. I was saying, would you have an interest in visiting the region, 1 or 2? The answer 1 is yes.
That's how many times? How many times you want to go?
Oh no, don't complicate it. Yeah. Option 1 is yes. Option 2 is no. So get your answer in for option 1. But I do think
it was another thing until I truly explored it. I didn't realise quite how easy it was to get there. Turned up at the airport, got a car, got going. So
no. Oh my word, I can't change that. But okay, it's still on. That's fine. So far, everyone votes yes. That's great.
Everyone wants to come.
Everyone wants to come. I'm going to move it on just now to the wines of the night, because that's the most a fun little question. But what I'm going to say is, I can't pick a wine. I know I often say that. And secretly in my head, I might have an idea of what I like best, but I cannot choose between different styles. I absolutely love Wine 1. I mean, what a standout muscat. I've not had a muscat that tastes anywhere near as good as that. That's fantastic.
I think across the board here, the wine you pick depends on what you're eating, what you're doing, who you're with, how you're hanging out. Because there is a wine for every occasion in this lineup, and this is 6 wines. You can't tell this region in 6 wines. We've tried to give it a go, but we've not done sweet wine. We've not done brandy. We've not done fortified wine. this barrel-aged orange wines.
And I just think when you get to that interaction of the food and wine as well, and I think like you saw there, I almost think like we've been looking to do what our next food and wine kind of tasting is. We haven't done one for a year or two. This could be quite fun. This could be quite fun. But
anyway, so
yes,
let's have a very quick look at wines and night as people's favourites.
Oh my god, it's jumping around. People are still voting, and it's literally changing.
And it's within half a point. You know, there's
nothing.
To be fair, there's nothing in it. It's not even worth announcing. The only thing I will announce is the white wine is quite high.
Yes,
which is not surprising for the quality, but surprising for what you would expect from Jumilla. But anyway,
yeah.
But anyone who is still on from the wineries, we're going to do the end. If you want to hang out and say goodbye, we'll jump on us afterwards. Give us 30 seconds. I'd love to just say bye personally.
Yeah.
But it has been a brilliant tasting. We're going to roll the credits. Anyone who's in the background who wants to say hi and bye, that's great. If you're bored with us, feel free to log off. But it's been a brilliant tasting. We'll see you all next month. There'll be loads more content coming up. But a massive thank you to Jumilla, to all the people that have been involved in making this come together, for me getting out there, for your time tonight. A bottle of wine is just a bottle of wine until you relate it to the people, to the soil, to the culture, and everything's important about it. And I'm hoping we have, in our own little way via the internet, help with that tonight. So have a great evening, everyone.
Well,
we'll see you again soon. Cheers.
Cheers. Good night.